Hello and welcome to Friday Night Overwatch. We had a fantastic slate of games for you this evening, a doubleheader starting here in just a little bit. It'll be about 15 minutes or so. We have Valor, Prestige, and No Sympathy from North American Tier 5 coming up, and then Danny DeVito versus Descendant Ruby right after that. Really excited for this one. Honestly, this is exactly what I've been looking for. A nice doubleheader on Friday night for you. Joined here by a couple of the best casters in the biz. I'm Salt and Pepper. We got Bull Skunk. We've got Billy, Corbec, and Skate breaking down these games for you over the next couple hours. And yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to miss it, so don't go anywhere. Right off the bat, the first game we've got coming up is going to be No Sympathy and Valor Prestige. First off, introduce yourselves. How are you guys doing? And then we'll get diving right into this game.
Mine is Bull Skunk. I don't know y'all, but I'm super hyped for tonight's matchups. This is going to be fantastic, starting off with the Tier 5 matchup with Valor and No Sympathy. And then, like I said, going into that T4 matchup with Danny DeVito and Descendants Ruby. Man, this should be a good one. Valor looks super strong coming in, but No Sympathy on a 2-0 streak here. So it could go either way. I think No Sympathy might have the edge here, looking to keep their undefeated streak going. What do you think, gentlemen?
I mean, we saw a good Tier 5 match last night. Coming in from who did we have last night? My brain is all over the place right now. You know, we saw our first experience from Tier 5 last night, so we saw a lot of sticking to the meta here in this tier. So I'm hoping that what we see today is people be willing to come off the meta, be willing to take risks, take chances, go against the grain, because when you do have that opportunity to go against the grain, I think that's the biggest thing that we've seen people do is when they make the big pushes and they like overcome what they're coming in with. I think that's the biggest thing I want to see tonight.
It is kind of an interesting matchup in the sense that No Sympathy had a first week bye, right? So that contributes to one of their wins. Then their next match was 3-2. But if we look at Valor Prestige, of course, they are 4-4 with 1 win and 1 loss. So I wonder how you factor in that bye week into there and how that kind of, you know, if they had played that week, would No Sympathy be, I think, more on level footing with Valor Prestige going into this one? I think that bodes well for it being a close game. None of these, it's interesting that Valor had such swingy games, and then No Sympathy kind of had a really close one as well.
Yeah, the interesting thing that I found out about that, and apparently last week for Valor Prestige was actually a forfeit. They weren't actually able to play the game. So that 0-4 loss is actually a forfeit. So they've never actually been beaten on the field yet. So I'm interested to see how that goes and how that plays in, because No Sympathy had that week 1 bye. So neither one of these teams have had a loss yet when it's been played out.
Well, and week 2, it was such an interesting meta. Week 2 was the week of Pharah, with so many heroes banned out. I think it really just showed the team's adaptability, but I'm not sure we got really true insight into how these teams are going to perform on a consistent basis, just because the bans were so odd. Speaking of, I mean, that kind of leads us into our hero bans for this week. You know, we're not going to... We're not going to see any Wrecking Ball. We're not going to see any Mercy. We're not going to see any Hanzo. So I think we're going to get a little bit more of a traditional meta coming through. We've seen a lot of the Reaper May so far with the Ryan Zarya. So I'm curious to see how they adapt and what they bring to the table here tonight.
Yeah, I think these hero bans, and no disrespect to any ball players or Mercy players, Hanzo, I guess the most impactful one, but I don't think they're very impactful overall, in my opinion.
Agreed.
The ball is disruptive. I mean, Mercy can be used at Bastion stats, damage boost, but there are other healers that can fill that slot. Hanzo, he's a bit of a loss, but then again, I mean, is it a character you'd expect to be running? I think in a lot of scrims that I've played in some of the games that I've seen, you're right, Bullskunk, the brawl compositions with the May and the Reaper have kind of been the go-to. But keep in mind, I think that May nerf, where they dropped her ammunition counter, has actually really kind of thrown some May players off in terms of the aggressive style of play that they're used to. They don't get the freezes that they used to with the same ammunition, and it does slow down the tempo.
Yeah, completely agree, and I think that's definitely going to be interesting. Obviously, the Mercy being the one of the banned heroes is going to be the biggest influence, but we did see a lot of Wrecking Ball last week and trying to disrupt some of those control points early on, so I'm interested to see how teams pivot away from that kind of disruptive, chaotic play style. Moving on to the second game, though, we've got Dana DeVito coming up, and they obviously a really strong season so far. They're in Tier 4, also trying to get a win tonight against Descendants Ruby. What do you guys know about Dana DeVito? Bull, Billy, I know you guys have done a few of their games, and especially the one last week. What did you see there, and how do you expect them to approach this one? It was a pretty tight 3-2 win for them.
Billy, I'm gonna defer to you on this one.
I mean, they went to map 5 last week, and apparently it was an absolute bonkers of a overtime win for them. From what I heard from Basic and from Burr, they both told me that it was just back and forth. That they didn't know who was going to win. It was a headshot here or there, basically that decided the two teams in the overtime. In the first week that they played against Allium, and it was pretty decisive. Allium didn't have an answer for the DPS and tank line. The tank lines for Danny DeVito is what they base their entire compositions off of. This week with Wrecking Ball being out, not a big hurt to them. Next week, though, looking forward to next week, they're going to get smacked with Zarya's gone because they have one of the best Zaryas in Tier 4, if not in all of CGL. And I will put it out there right now because I've seen the guy play a lot. He's nutty on Zarya. So, I think that if Ruby tonight can disrupt the aggression coming in from Johan and Major X Nova on the tank line, I think that's where Dane DeVito is going to have a problem. But then you've got Venom Andrew that can do all these different DPSs, and then you've also got either Zen or Niche V2 coming in that will be able to just smack people around. They like to flank. They like to get in your back line. They're already in your back line before you even know it. So,
and I think it's important to note that that Danny DeVito squad was the Tier 3 squad that won that division in Season 6 of the multi-tier tournament. So they have moved on up to Tier 4. And, we saw the notes earlier. Billy mentioned, you think there'd be a little bit of growing pains, but so far, man, they have looked really strong. And Venom Andrew, especially on the Junkrat, he has just a killer Junkrat. And with that Mercy taken out, it means we're probably not going to see any Pharah this week. So, I mean, it leaves a lot of room for Junkrat to operate. But on the other side, Descendants Ruby, they are not restricted by meta in the slightest. This is a squad that will pull out anything. They're going to stick to their comfort picks. And, I mean, it may throw Dana DeVito off a little bit because they may see something unexpected, something they haven't played up against before.
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned them going up to Tier 4 after the Tier 3 championship. We've seen Dana DeVito, I believe it was Season 3 to Season 4, try and make that jump, and the team wasn't quite ready for it. Had to come back a little bit, regroup, build the team up a little bit. So now to see them doing so well coming into Tier 4 is really solid to see, just from a CGL perspective, for those of us that have seen that team kind of grow year over year. So definitely excited for that. But game here coming up in just a few minutes. We're gonna get some predictions in really quickly from the guys here. Although I think I've already probably posted them for everybody to see them already. But still, let's go down the line. Bolskunk, you've got Valor winning 3-1. Actually, Valor across the board. What's the why do you feel like they're gonna be able to take this game over No Sympathy?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, just from what I know, there's an experienced squad. I haven't seen a whole lot from them yet, but I mean, this one could be really tight. I know they have a really dominant tank line, and I expect that to carry them through, though it's not going to be an easy matchup.
Yes, certainly not. Billy, also with the Valor 3-1, identical play there. Actually, Skate does too. We'll get to you in a second, but Valor 3-1 as well. You just think they're going to be able to get over the line?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the tank play is going to be the decisive winner here for them. I think they have too much synergy on the tank line that No Sympathy is going to have a really hard time cracking through it.
Yeah, definitely could be some difficulty. Corbec, it's going to be a tight game. You're the only one saying that we may go to that game 5. What's the story there?
I think that given the information presented to us with their previous records, I don't know that I can make a solid judgment about one team being superior to the other. And I feel when they're both about the level playing, they're just going to go for a long time into game 5. That's just what I think. I think they'll be more evenly matched than we think. But hey, who knows?
Those control points could honestly just go either way.
Yeah.
Seriously. And Skate, you've also got a 3-1 pick, looks like?
Yeah, I'm following right on cue with everybody else, apparently. But I'm basing this on the fact that Valor Prestige in their one game did get the 4-0, had the forfeit, so they really haven't even dropped a map yet, so I'm giving them a little bit of an edge there. I mean, I'm just saying, they haven't dropped one. Right. So.
Yeah,
the man's not wrong, but
Technically.
That and they've got a player on their roster named Trojan that apparently is extremely versatile. I have good knowledge that he is extremely versatile, the one to watch out for on the DPS. Wide, vast hero pool.
Nice. Okay. Well, we've also got a couple of predictions for the second game. We'll be able to preview that one a little bit closer after the first one. Yeah, those of you that don't know, after the first game, we'll have another little recap session with some of the guys here to get some more thoughts on the second game and then go into the second part of the doubleheader. But for the Danny DeFito game against the Senate Ruby, what are we feeling might be the case? Let's see what you got, Bull Skunk.
Yeah, I've got Danny DeFito going 3-2 here. I think they may get caught off a little bit, but at the end of the day, I believe they are going to push it through. But I expect that one to be a super tight back and forth series, going punch for punch. So I'm giving it the edge to Danny, but I think it's going to take till that tiebreaker map.
Oh, okay, a little bit tighter than that first game. But Billy, not the case. 4-0 here for Danny DeFito. What do you see?
Now, based upon what Ruby did last week against Arc Flash Tier 4, I saw one of their earlier, one of the preseason matches, Allium versus Arc Flash T4. Allium 4-0'd them in that preseason match, and Danny DeFito took them 3-1 in week 1. So I don't think they have the firepower to go up against the tank line. I think it's going to be a clean sweep from Danny DeFito.
See, another confident win here. Danny DeFito, Corbec, you got him going 3-1.
My thoughts are very similar to Billy. I've been playing against Danny DeFito for a long time now, it feels like. Basically since I started playing in the Overwatch Xbox community or whatever it was called back in the day. I've seen them grow team. I'm pretty sure Danny DeFito smacked me out of the playoffs on my first season, actually. I've run into them before. I think they're a great team. I think they're going. I think they're doing really well transitioning to Tier 4, and I just don't see them giving one up this early in the season, to be honest.
Fair enough. Skate, you've also got Danny DeFito. Actually, I didn't even put your score in there, I don't think. You got 3-1
see what you did? Yes, I've got Danny DeFito 3-1. I know a lot about this Danny playing with Corbec last year. We scrimmed Danny DeFito a lot, and we felt like we had a feel for how they play, and I think it's going to be great and combat this style. I've gone all out for this Danny DeFito team. I've even brought out the Danny DeFito Doritos. I don't know if you guys can see them.
Let's go.
We got the Danny DeFito Doritos.
He's got the Tier 3 sticker,
I'm ready for the game.
Tier 3 sticker. Let's go. Spam them Doritos. Let's go.
They're going to love that. See that coming off the way.
Let's see if we can get some support on Danny DeFito. But Ruby, no schlups either. We got that game coming up directly after this one. No Sympathy and Valor Prestige in the lobby already. We got them ready to go. Like I said, we'll be back at the kind of mid-cast to get thoughts from these guys. And we'll be back here in just a sec. Actually, we'll pull up the map scene. I'll let you guys take a quick look at what we have on deck. And we'll get us over into the game and done and dusted this week.
They are almost ready. We are getting the lineups all set up, so we got a couple of minutes here for them to get that all figured out.
I just want to say how excited I am to get this together. I am so looking forward to tonight, and I really appreciate y'all having me on the desk here. And I mean, this is gonna be a blast. I mean, I'm just all smiles. I think either way, any way you slice it, we're in for some fantastic Overwatch here tonight.
No,
I'm just hyped being here with you guys. I'm like, yes, baby,
Woo! We're doing it.
Console watch, baby. Yeah, we're going. Cooking with gas. I should give credit to Solon, by the way, for not only hosting but also doing the amazing overlay. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Absolute champion.
It's gonna be a fun night.
Trying to make this more of a thing. Definitely, if you guys are new to CGO and all the stuff we're trying to do here, give us a follow. You should Twitch Prime subscribe if you want to support the stream. Got some time to get some of that content out. We're trying to do this every single week and have additional content for you as well. If you're watching the stream earlier, we have Battlefield on here. We've also got a lot of games coming up in the slate, a lot of fighting games, a lot of shooters, things like that. So definitely check out the website, get in our Discord, and you can find out when all of that is going off. A lot of links below the stream to all of our socials. Twitter at Console Gaming. LG is probably your biggest one for all your news and notes. We got you covered there. It feels like we're about ready to go in Ilios. if that might be the case. I'm going to take a second here. We'll switch it over. It's going to be Corbec and Skate casting this first game. We got Bullskunk and Billy casting the Danny DeFito game. You definitely don't want to miss that. Should be an absolute cracker. But we'll take it over into Ilios here shortly. You ready for this?
Yep.
Thank you very much, Sultan, as we get ready to get started here. Going into our first map on Ilios, 3 stages, all very distinct, all very interesting, all with a lot of environmental kill options. Skate, as you well know, as a fellow Lucio player, occasional Lucio dabbler, you know that very well. You know something else that's actually quite funny about Ilios is it's all one big island, and like the 3 stages are kind of like thirds of it. Did you know that? You could like circle around it in some camera.
Oh, really?
Fun fact.
I did not know that.
Fun fact. Just like that cruise ship that's been circling out there forever around Ilios itself. I think a lot here probably depends, Skate, on what map or what stage I guess we run into first. They all, I think, require different things. I think. And I remember Bullskunk mentioned this in the pre-show here. The fact that Mercy not in the game does, I think, make it kind of difficult to see Pharah played here, and Pharah is such a popular pick, especially on Well and Lighthouse. So I do kind of wonder if that's going to have a little bit of an impact on this going forward.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see for sure, and you don't have that ball to open up the backline if it gets wild either. So I'm interested to see. I think we're in for a bit of a more brawly comp tonight. I would be shocked if we see anything other than that, put it that way.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I mean, we did say in the pre-show, Brawl is kind of the end-all be-all at the moment in terms of compositions you like to run. The Reaper and what have you. But I think McCree probably the more likely pick here on this particular map, especially if you're playing somewhere like Well, right? You kind of have that distance shooting ability that will keep things going. It's always an interesting one. I think Ilios is one of my favorite maps in the game. If I'm being honest, not only is it beautiful, it's just cool. It's good.
Yeah. You know what though? It'd be interesting to see if we get any of that Torb that we have come to grow fond of on Well.
Oh. How Skate and Sultan were getting switched for a second there.
Yeah, why not? Screw it.
Oh god,
whatever works, man.
We're transposing bodies. That's good. We have transcended. Not only is the graphics are super clean, they're transcendental here. Still waiting on the ready up for these teams, and I kind of hope that there's nothing too bad going on over there.
No, we're trying to get it all figured out for you. We're trying to get this in and get it started as quickly as possible. We're having a bit of a roster conflict here, so trying to work that together and get everything on the up and up and get everybody in the game.
There's always a conflict. It wouldn't be called to watch if there wasn't some sort of discussion of the roster somewhere. I do appreciate the fact that, and you can't see this at home, I'm afraid, but in the lobby, Valor Prestige have gone solid squid icons, and No Sympathy has tried to match them with squids of their own, but only 2 of the players look to be going in on it. Cordal seems fairly fixed on being the Romanian flag here, as we wait for them to ready up. It's such an interesting thing, Skate, that most recent news that came out about Overwatch, since we have a little bit of time. I know we're going to talk about it, I think, a little bit later at some point, but the way that they're doing hero bans now, with the hero bans just across the board from Overwatch League all the way down through contenders, open to ranked, I think that's a really good change, actually, in my opinion, and it's going to get everybody on the same page going forward. I don't know. Why do you think that they did that split initially? I never really understood what the thought process was.
I was confused by it as well, and I'm sure there were good intentions, but it seems like they did the right thing here by immediately backpedaling on it and saying, you know what, this is not what we want. We want the product that fans are seeing on the Overwatch League to be able to be replicated at home and in their own games. So in order to do that, we need to make those hero pools sync up. So I think it was the right call. And I do like that they have now set out some guidelines that it will be 1 tank, 2 DPS, and 1 support each time as well.
Yeah, I think that was a good change as well. I think on those weeks where we had the multiple tank bans or the multiple support bans, it became so constricting to support players and tank players because there were so few options, I guess, for them to play. Next week's bans with the Lucio, is it Fire Symmetra? I can't remember the other two. It's going to be an interesting setup, and I think especially Lucio being taken out of the game. Lucio has just been such an integral part of so many lineups for so long, and I guarantee you we're going to see him played right here on Well by both teams. I mean, you'd almost have to be crazy not to take him on arguably what is one of his best maps. I do wonder how much his removal is going to affect kind of just general play. That lack of speed boost, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be a lot slower game. We'll put it that way. It's already felt that way in any competitive game. If you played it, like coming out of the gates, there's just no speed. Everything feels like it's moving slower, and you don't have those nice AOE heals. It'll be interesting to see kind of what these teams do in the absence of a Lucio, because he's kind of that staple of a lot of teams where you run a main support, and Lucio a lot of times is just the default go-to off support. So we'll probably see a little bit of double main support. So you might see like a Moira Mercy or even a Bat Mercy. Probably a whole lot of Mercy after this ban.
Oh, yeah, probably, right? Coming in. Just let's take a moment again to talk about, I think, our map pool going forward. So we have Ilios as the first map. That'll be followed by Eichenwald. Eichenwald, of course, you know, one of the sort of classic maps of the game in terms of a classic payload map. It'll be interesting. I think we can probably draw better insights from these guys after we see them play a little bit to see what they want to run. Again, you know, the hero bans that we're seeing this week, I just don't think they affect the gameplay on this map very much. Who runs ball on Eichenwald? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe Mercy, I guess you could currently say you might see. But Hanamura, of course, a solid one. The next one in the lineup, the 2CP. You know, we've been scrimming these maps, and not to give too much away, but Hanamura is a great map.
It's
great. It really is.
It's a roller coaster ride sometimes, isn't it?
God,
though?
it really
like,
is. Yeah, it is.
It feels like so often you can hold that first point for 4 minutes, lose it in overtime, and then you get steamrolled on the second point. It's wild. The ups and downs that you can have on that map are just beyond me at this point.
Yeah, it's a fascinating one in that regard. Like a lot of the 2CP ones, they do provide some interesting sort of options, and I've seen definitely things out there in the Twitter sphere about, you know, change 2CP and make this better and make that better. I don't know. It's interesting. And then finally, our last map, of course, will be Rialto, which is Rialto's pretty great, actually, as well. I know that a lot of people don't like it, but for some reason, from like a casting perspective, I find it so interesting. I love the corner of death. Like
everybody loves the corner of death, right? It is just the
they love it when they're on
the
defending side. You know,
it's easy. Where do we stand? Well, we just kind of hold right here. That's what we got to do. From the attacking side, you have to decide which way you want to go, and there are a lot of, you know, different points of entry. So it's a very well designed map in that perspective, that you have these tight little chokes, but you have all these wide open spaces in between. So it allows for all the different kinds of play.
You know, when you get out to bridge or whatever, I feel like so many times that that whole stretch past the bridge is just like free ground, because no team can really adequately defend until you get to about the corner there, because there's just so much space. It really is absolutely fascinating. Looks like we're seeing a couple more sort of switches and swaps from No Sympathy primarily here in the lobby, as we're still, unfortunately, waiting to get started. We do apologize. I don't think we expected kind of this long.
We'll get it figured out.
But we are indeed waiting here. And of course, first map, as we said before, Ilios.
Yes, Ilios.
Man.
So now I'm just waiting on the ready from both captains, since we've had a little bit of the delay here.
Spectacular.
Yep.
Looking forward to hopping into it and getting a good look at what our first stage is going to be here. I don't know, Skate, what do you think? I say well. I'm putting my money on well.
You say well? God, I feel like it's almost always well. what do you have? Ruins, and what's the name of the third one?
Lighthouse.
Yes, that's right. Lighthouse. I'm going Lighthouse. I always forget the name of the third one, and it's got the giant lighthouse.
The one with the giant lighthouse?
Yeah, but you're always underneath the lighthouse, to be fair, right? Like,
yeah, that's true. That is true. Or I guess
I never noticed that it's a lighthouse. I'm never looking up. But unless I'm playing Mercy, of course. So you got to pocket that, Farrah.
Giving some good solid directions.
Yeah,
you know, the lighthouse, the one with the lighthouse on top of it. Yeah, that's the.
I wonder why they call it lighthouse.
Yeah. It is a wonder sometimes that our team's comms are as good as they are.
That's a stretch right there, man. I mean, they're not great sometimes.
They're under the big glowy thing.
Yeah, the point. You know
what I mean?
You know what that is?
The point. Yeah, the point. Exactly, the point. The big.
All right, these teams are ready, so we're
all right. Let's get going. Let's go.
Get it on in there, and let's roll this map.
We've unintentionally extended our pregame show by 10 minutes, but boy, howdy, we are in it now.
Thank you for sticking with us, everybody. Yeah, I mean, we did start a little late, so that does help.
That's true. We evened out the pre-show. We evened it out. That's very good for me.
We'll do it live.
Well, here you are, ladies and gentlemen, getting into the... Oh, my God.
No, you're fine. I'm testing a pause. It's all good.
I was going to say, get out of here. No, as we're getting into the action here on Ilios, and it's Ruins, so neither of us were right. We both lose.
That doesn't bode well for our predictions from earlier now, does it?
Doesn't bode well for our predictions at all. I'm
sorry, Burr. I didn't mean to doom you guys like that. Caster's curse.
Yeah, for sure. As we get a good look at the teams setting up here, Spark Chief on that Reinhardt. So Reinhardt Zarya with the Tracer McCree on one side. The other side will be featuring the Ryan Orisa, also with the McCree and a May. So really a straight up brawl there on the other side as we prepare to get started here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like we were kind of spot on with that brawl comp that we were talking about a little bit in the pre-show here, as we see both teams starting to make their way to the point with those Lucios.
Yeah, Jupa already in the back now looking for something. They'll drop down onto the point, though, getting very aggressive as Spark Chief. That's a big anti-nade from both sides there. Dubstep nearly loses their life, but it's Jupe who will go down first to Trojan in the back line. Now I am Aqua Turtle pushing forward, and it's all red right now. A little bit of flank play here from Jev's fake clip, but I don't think it's going to be enough really to salvage this. Jev's going to be lucky to get out of this alive. Hutch pushes up and gets him back, and that first fight is over, and they are pushing forward hard.
Yeah, creating a lot of space is Aqua Turtle right now, and I was told leading up to this match that Aqua Turtle is a force on that main tank, and we are seeing it in full display so far getting started.
Well, that space almost is gone just as quickly. Cinder backing up here with the rest of the team as No Sympathy just falls backwards, but they're going to throw in the nano boost early on. Amazing sleep, though. Will keep Aqua Turtle out of the fight for the duration of that nano. And that's a bad loss there. Jupe in the back line now trying to do a little bit of havoc, putting pressure on to carry the Ana. Not able to do it, though. Jupe gets taken down by Trojan. Another good anti-nade.
Oh, man.
From Max. Yaga going down now, and it should be a push forward here for No Sympathy once more. They're going to try and move up, but they're not going to take as much space as they did last time, Skate. Instead, they're going to play back.
Yeah, they're going to play back just a little bit. They have this nice, shark mentality to them. It appears that they smell a little bit of blood and water with the pick, and the aggression just gets turned on and
beat down Bongos. And a really good wall, but this high noon over the top from Yaga gets two. And that might be the opening that they need here. Valor trying to push forward. Jupe with the good stick. Spark Chief getting in on the action. It does look like Valor should be able to secure this. A desperate effort by Trojan to hold on here as the May. Probably not going to be enough, though, and they will shut them down. So finally, at 78%, Valor will get the flip.
I think we have the teams backwards there. New Sympathy should be in the blue, and the red will be Valor Prestige.
Oh, my apologies. Yeah,
no worries. We got to figure it out now.
They're playing up, pushing forward. Spark Chief trying to get in.
Oh,
Decent
my God.
Shatter there in the back line. And a good anti, though, but they can't turn it around. Everybody's too knocked down to really capitalize on it. And they will push forward again. Great job there by No Sympathy to re-secure the point.
Both Annas there just using those grenades aggressively. I think I counted 7 total people there between both teams that were antied. It worked out in the favor of No Sympathy, though, with getting those early picks.
Now Valor in a bit of a difficult position here, trying to push up that main gate. Out comes the Blizzard. It's a good one. High Noon to follow it up. I don't know if they'll get anything. No, Spark down. The beat coming out half a second too late. Now Jebs is out of it as well. The rest of the team will start pouring forward. Now they've got 3 picks. This should be all theirs. Unless something absolutely miraculous happens. And no, it won't. It's not miraculous at all.
Yeah, ran out of steam there. That was that was we saw No Sympathy set up way almost into the spawn there of the side of Valor Prestige, but it just wasn't enough as we saw the picks come early for Valor Prestige and then just all that space to run free and get it with that aggression that we talked about earlier.
Well, Valor holding on tight here, doesn't want to give it up. Aqua Turtle backing up just a little bit. Spark Chief taking the flank, dropping in. Good grab, has got 3. Great Maywall, though, to counter it. Sound Barrier coming out as well. There's an anti-native and everything going off all at once. Throw it all in and see what you can get, and all you get is SM Trojan. The fight's still going. To carry, returning the favor on Jupe there. A little bit of pressure, a weird fight here off to the side, but eventually No Sympathy starting to come over the top, largely on the back of Bryax. Look at those 3 Annas in the kill feed. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was probably your play of the game there, as the way the play of the games have been going lately. They give the supports all the love, but it was well deserved there by Bryax. Had a huge Annie and then finished off at least 2 of those kills by themselves.
Well, they kind of threw everything but the kitchen sink. Aqua Turtle still has the shatter here. It's a decent Maywall, but unfortunately they're not able to trap anyone. Aqua Turtle pushing forward. They have the shatter in the High Noon. One is going to have to come out here. Aqua Turtle hunting for the opportunity. Oh, he just can't find his Spark Chiefs in front of him. The fight getting really tight up here on the corner. The High Noon coming out now, I think, just to try and force some space. Aqua Turtle coming forward again. He's still got the shatter. Hammer down comes out. He gets no one with it, though. And they might turn this around. Jaeger gets the kill. Great anti-nade over the top. Spark Chief in danger. It won't be enough. The Blizzard just a little too late here. And the point will tick down. No, over the top is Dog, but he won't hold on. Jaeger and Spark Chief combine, and at 78%, they do manage to turn it around. Great play there.
Yeah, Spark Chief, what that was kind of built on was Spark Chief able to stay alive because it looked like the shatter was coming out on the side of Aqua Turtle and wasn't able to get that shatter off. Had Spark dead to rights there with that shatter, but Spark able to stay alive and help finish off that point.
Yeah, I almost feel like it just took them a little too long, Skate, to really get out what they wanted there. The game-winning condition, obviously, the shot, they just they kind of got blocked out. They just could never get a good opportunity to use it.
That we talked about that main nerf a little bit in the pregame, but that wall still just as good for separating teams as it's always been. That was not nerfed at all. It's still just as good.
Well, now Cinder coming over the top on the Pharah could be a little bit rough here. No real hard counters on the side of the blue team here. They begin to push forward. Now a good setup here. The Torbjorn turrets coming out on both sides. A Diva coming in as well for I am Aqua Turtle. Kind of a standard defensive procedure here. Both teams locking down the corners, just trading fire as Cinder tries to get up in the air and throw a little bit of damage over. Dubstep does get the anti-nade. I don't think it's anything to really fuss him too much. A good little rotation there will get Crackers around to the left side, but now they're kind of giving up point control, so they have to continue to fight this bunker fight the entire time. Pharah raining in damage from above. They really can't get any pressure. Oh, good boop! Oh, no! Faked clip into the well, and that I think might signal the end of their resistance. No, even as I say that, they are holding on here, Skate. Oh, they nearly get the Diva.
That was so close. I thought
Jupe
Diva was done
so
for.
Low too. Jupe is so low as this pressure on the fire comes over the top, and they will finally get the take.
Yeah, Aqua Turtle is very thankful for that Diva boosters adjustment that we recently got, able to get out of there with their lives, but this is still kind of tight. It was just the one pick there on the Sigma of Jevs that ended up flipping that point.
Well, now they're moving through the bottom of the lighthouse, the mill, trying to get some area. Oh, barrage over the top with the combine, and that's all they need there for Cinder to get 3 easy picks. Trojan finishing off Hutch with a little bit of a love tap too. And it is all over there, and they'll resecure this point. So another strong opening play here by Valor Prestige.
Yeah, it was cloudy with a chance of justice from Cinder on the side, but Cinder was actually kind of low there, and I was surprised Cinder was able to get away with that, given that the tank lineup that No Sympathy has going right now, and just not able to get in a position to absorb any of those rockets from the Pharah.
Well, I would say look at the alt differential here. It's closing fast, though, so we'll maybe see some things coming out early. Beatdown bongos do come out fast. Ooh, good molten core over the top. Doesn't quite get the bongos, but it's a great EMP over the backside. No, Lucio hiding, comes out with the sound barrier. Now they'll throw in this as well. Reinhardt, the Flux is up, the Flux is down. They'll lose the Diva mech on that one. Still fighting here, but you feel like Valor's slowly getting squeezed into the corner. Up a lot of spaces. Spark Chief's just going to get very aggressive with that Orisa and press up right to the doorway here. Doing a great job. Oh no, Spark Chief's over the edge. Oh, with a little bit of a punch there. Biggest Diva punch ever to drive that one off.
Oh my God.
And there is a shield up for it as well. Unfortunately, Hutch is down. Oh, huge boop. Thanatos on the other side gets 2 in the well. And they will hold on at 98%, 99%. And it does look like it will be Valor taking this one.
Oh, that's a good dog. That's a good boy. Able to get the boop. That saved the point there. It was all No Sympathy in the kill feed for the longest time until we see that boop get 2 in the well. My gosh, what a
somebody's getting belly rubs.
Yeah, somebody's getting a whole lot of treats right now.
That's amazing. That was a spectacular boop there. Both of these Lucio's actually been pretty involved on the environmental kill front. We've been seeing a lot of people drop down that well to bronze.
Yeah. I mean, I know how that feels. I've been caught on the wrong end of that a few times.
Yeah. Down into the pit.
The pit of despair, as it were.
The pit of despair.
Yeah, the pit of despair. As we get started here, back to the Rhine Zarya. Though they'll be sticking with the Orisa Sigma, Aqua Turtle now playing that Sigma, and Cinder up in the Pharah slot, and they might just get there before their opponents, and sure enough, they will rotate on. Valor Prestige already establishing defensive positioning here. But it's a real brawl on point, to be honest. There's a lot of bodies swinging around. Oh, but Spark Chief goes down early. He can't out-brawl Trojan on the Reaper. And it does look like Valor will be holding on here. Hutch, the last person there, trying to get out of danger. And really, it's a full regroup here for No Sympathy after that initial blast.
Yeah, we talked about the Pharah possibly not being played because of the Mercy ban, but Cinder has no fear on the going to stick with this Pharah, even against Jupe, who has switched over to the McCree. This is the same DPS characters that they played on the first map that they took on Ruins. They've swapped back to the Mei and the McCree both.
Ooh, 2 picks, 3 picks on point to Spark Chief. Going to town with the hammer. He's driving some nails right there. And the latest one is Aqua Turtle. And it does look like they'll secure here. Cinder gets brought down by Jupe, and it's a solid retake there from Crackers.
Yes, I love the aggression on the side of No Sympathy here. They popped that Moira Coalescence to get in. We're all too familiar with that. But, I mean, just the aggression to get on the back of it, and that's what kind of set him up in the freedom just to swing, Ryan, swing.
Spark Chief playing that corner right now, just trying to get aggressive up in the face here. Spark Chief still swinging away, as you were saying. Doing a good job managing the shield life there, too, as they'll slowly give ground here, backing up towards the point. Pressure coming in. Trojan trying to get a little bit of a flank. Can't get it. They do have ultimates in the tanks, and there's one. Coalescence coming out, but it's a good freeze on the other side. Unfortunately, Bragstad already down. Cinder dropping in the barrage. Gets one. Good use of the Coalescence to keep him up through that, as well as they'll start to collapse on the point. Spark Chief is down. High Noon coming out from somewhere. Don't think they got much with it as Trojan just goes to work there on the Reaper and clears the deck.
Yeah, that High Noon from Jupe, I think Jupe may be swapping here as he's running back to the spawn. It came on the left side, that little health pack room that teams try to sneak through to the defender's left.
Well, they're setting up for another attack again. Pretty much neck and neck here on point percentage. Coming in high. Cinder, of course, spots that out right away, but I think they're just going to try and bully their way on. Oh, good flux there on the backside and a little bit to shove him back into it. Beat will come out early in order to help with that. Good all from Trojan there as well. Spark Chief just swinging away. Oh, he counters with the shatter. Is it enough? It just might be.
Cinder's dropping into the point for half a second. Mostly stacked up in the corner is Dubstep, fully fortified over there. They're trying to push onto it. Carry is there as well, providing the heals. Both of the Moyers going to town. Just trying to keep their respective tanks alive, but eventually it is Spark Chief who will go down. Oh no, it's nearly game over here. Jev's in. A lot of the members of Crackers coming back in hard, but is it enough? Jaeger getting the pick on Cinder on the outside. Oh, and I think they're going to start backing off after that one, though. I just don't know that they can capitalize. A bit of a brief pause here.
They're regrouped here.
No, they're regrouped. They're coming in hard. There goes the May wall. Beatdown Bongo coming out. Sound barrier coming in as well. Coalescence out here on the deck, too, as they just go. Sparky has not stopped swinging that hammer. Cinder comes in from behind on the Doomfist and tries to make a difference, but Cinder will go down. Another shatter. Oh, it's just Dubstep left holding on to the point at 99%, and they will finally flip it.
Woo! Oh my, I thought this was going to be flipped a little bit ago. It looked like Sympathy had that point one, but somehow Valor back after Dubsteps and Takari were just hunkered down in that corner. Great healing on the side of the Moira of Takari, able to keep the team in it and hold that all the way to 99%. These supports are playing out of their minds right now.
Well, that was sweaty, Skate, to be honest.
Yeah,
Dude, it's great. A little bit of a cheeky back cap there. Out comes the May Blizzard on the door. That's not bad. It really does a great job of splitting them. Can they capitalize, though? They had the opportunity to push onto Aqua Turtle, but they can't really get it. There will be a regroup here from Valor as they start to push forward. Oh, Coalescence is coming out. Valor uses that Jaeger, the victim. Oh, high noon from Jupe trying to even it up, though. The fight's still going on. The Coalescence is running out now as they start to push onto the point. Aqua Turtle swinging away for the fences. Spark Chief in a little bit of danger here. The Lucio with the pocket.
Oh, no.
Trying to keep him alive. Good beat coming out, just trying to keep this fight going, and it's an absolute slugfest. Out comes the beatdown Bongo, and they will use it to beat down. That's Trojan. Getting in there with Dubstep beats, and I am Aqua Turtle chiming in on the backside. This brave Coalescence from the Moira. Oh, no! Hello, Trojan. And it will be Valor Prestige taking the first map, but my God, if that wasn't close, Kate.
Yeah, that was a nail biter. I think we're in for a good one here. You might have been right with your predictions on this thing going the distance at this point. My word, this is a slugfest. I like it.
That 3-2 not looking so bad, huh? I mean, honestly. What a great anti-nade, by the way, featured in this play of the game. Shame it's not for Bryax, but that was great. 41% of team damage. Wow.
Bryax was a force to be reckoned with there. Both supports getting cards for very good reasons. They, like I said, they're playing out of their minds.
Oh, I am dead. I think I was out of the frame of my camera there because I am just woo. My Lord, should not have worn the sweatshirt.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk was a bad choice, not gonna lie. Oh my Lord in heaven almighty. Well, we're getting ready there, coming off of Ilios to move over to Eichenwald. And yeah, it's just, that was a heck of a match. I think one of the most interesting things, Skate, was Cinder playing that Pharah pretty much uncontested the vast majority of the time. Funny enough.
Yeah, it was interesting, but I think Jaeger was able to... Was it Jaeger that was on the McCree there at the end, able to get the pick late and kind of get them out of the picture? So it just seemed like you wouldn't suspect that running a hit scan like a McCree. You would think they would be able to zone out the Pharah a little bit, but I think the Pharah was actually able to get pressure from distance onto the McCree, and they kind of canceled each other out for the most part.
They did. Oh, I should say it was Bryax anti-nade. There were 2 anti-nades in that fight in the clay of the game. Sorry, Bryax. I didn't mean to take away your very valid play right there. I've just watched it on the monitor here. Woo! It gets a little sweaty in there sometimes. Everybody's turning purple there for about 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
somebody needs to turn the heat down a little bit, I think.
Oh, my Lord. Here. Yeah, looking forward to our next map coming up here. So, Eichenwald, do you think we see the Pharah again? Because this is a map where you can play Pharah.
Sure.
Now, normally you would want the Mercy Pocket, but, I mean, it's a dangerous game.
Here's what I think. I think it's still okay on point number 1. It's point number 2 where I think it can get a little bit hairy. So it'll be interesting to see if they don't decide to just swap after map 1 kind of thing, where you could swap to maybe like a Bastion comp or something. Yeah, I suspect we will see that fair. I don't think Cinder's going to be afraid to play that fair. I saw nothing on that made me think that they would shy away from it.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think we also see pretty, standard brawl compositions coming in as well. Just trying to force that first point, especially to get through that choke. That choke can just slow teams down so badly. And I think the temptation there for the far right is to send Cinder up over the top or over to the outside and just try and get some damage in, try and take some of the pressure off that front line. I do wonder if that means we'll be seeing Jupe just coming straight out on the McCree as a way to counter that out. But, it was interesting, too. We saw a lot. I think we saw more Sigma play than I would have anticipated on those maps as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised we didn't see just a lot of Rein Zarya, Rein Diva. We saw a lot of double shield type tank situations there. So, it says a lot for the meta right now that they just feel like the shield is that important that it's needed. And I'm not sure that they're wrong about that. Shields are extremely important. It became, shield Overwatch for such a long time here. So it seems to still be true even after all these adjustments have been made.
Yeah, it does feel that way sometimes. And I mean, I think there are definitely points right on Ilios that favor that. Going into Eichenwald, if you're a defender, you favor actually defender or attacker double well. So we'll see if they make significant changes on that front. I do think the DPS battle is what you should be looking out for going into this, though, whether we'll be seeing Cinder up over the top or not. I, for one, would like to see it. I thought it was really, really exciting stuff. So,
yeah, I think Cinder can play at a little bit of a range here. I would not be surprised if we saw that. I think we're very likely to see a little bit more of that May, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see more of that double shield. But it looks like from the onset here, we'll have to see how things kind of happen. But it looks like we may be seeing that Rein Zarya a little bit.
Yeah, Rein Zarya definitely coming out for both sides, so perhaps not entirely surprising. Ripple, I assume. Is it Rickbull or Ripple? I never know.
Rickbull?
Rickbull? Funniest thing I've ever seen. He's a pickle. Anyway, we see it on the other side here. Trojan coming out on the May and Cinder. It will be on the far. A Jupe coming out on the McCree. So big brain plays by the casters here. Seeing that coming.
Hey, sometimes we just get lucky. I'd rather be lucky than
skate.
good.
All skill. All skill. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, here comes the push as well. Cinder up in the air over the main choke, trying to get the rockets in. They'll get through the choke point relatively easily here. A little bit of hesitation as they try and figure out which direction to go. Playing the tower, but Trojan, the early pick. Huge anti-nade, but a big wall in response, and unfortunately, they won't really be able to capitalize on it. But to carry hit a big one there. It's unfortunate that they didn't have the force to follow through. And Valor Prestige rather forcefully showed the door there, Skate.
Yeah, the aforementioned Ripple apparently heard us talking about him and decided to make a huge play with that wall, cut off both tanks from the rest of the team. And we know when you have 6 people focusing on those tanks, how quickly they will go down when they don't have the supports to help them.
Cinder over to the McCree now has decided to give up on that Pharah lifestyle, and they'll push together around the clock tower, trying to get up. Good Maywall in to split. It's not enough, though. Great little play there to get back over the car, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference.
Oh, big charge.
Little charge by Aqua Turtle. Somehow, Nano Boost coming in might be able to turn this fight around. Aqua Turtle charging forward like he's Freddy or Jason, one or the other. An absolute horror movie villain with the shatter as well. This man is unstoppable.
Calm down, Aqua Turtle. Woo-wee. He's playing like a man possessed right now. That charge was something else because Aqua Turtle had the charge lined up on Ripple, got booped by Hutch, and still landed the charge on Ripple to initiate all of that. It was wild to see.
Aqua Turtle just says, you know what? I'm going to put all y'all on my back right now with a little bit of help from that Nano. And he just powered forward there. That was savage.
Yeah, I love seeing that brawly Reinhardt play.
Ooh,
we don't get to see it a lot anymore.
Speaking of brawly play, this is a close hold. High noon Jupe on the front lines with the high noon.
Word.
Why not? Aqua Turtle caster cursed in there as he just gets bullied by Spark Chief. Spark Chief says, let me show you how a Reinhardt plays as he pushes forward now, and they'll hold him right up at the spawn door for a second.
Yeah, a tank battle has broken out, even though we teased a little bit of the DPS battle. The big boys came to play today.
Good Lord, they're at the doors! Oh no! Oh, Hutch getting Cinder off the edge of the map. Valor in shambles here as Bryax gets 2 with the Coalescence. This is absolute disaster.
My word, tapping on the spawn door. Spark Chief says, "Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper." This is something right here. You need to take your time if you're Valor Prestige and just get a full nice reset. Oh, that's a good wall to start this off. Oh my!
Some barrier coming out, grab coming out. Now there's a blizzard in as well. What's going on? Can they just get a couple of kills? They do. Jupe and Spark Chief will go down, and here comes the push forward now. Ripple goes down. Yega's the next person in Aqua Turtle sights as they continue to push forward. They finally freed the beast there and got back out the spawn door, but a really aggressive hold way up front by
I'd
the
be
folks
lying
over there.
if I told you I knew exactly how they got bodies crashing into each other, and somehow Valor Prestige was able to make the best of it and get out of there and finally get this payload moving.
Yeah, Valor got to reset the mental a little bit there coming off of that one. That had to hurt. Gonna get aggressive though, off the bridge. High Noon coming in, wall coming out, double High Noon boosted up by the May. Great little combination of abilities, but Jupe returns the favor almost immediately. Now Jupe gets another one, Cinder going down. Shatter big, Aqua Turtle gets the nano, go Aqua, go, as he pushes forward. Spark Chief getting picked off before he can complete the charge. And it's Angry Rhine all over the point again, but look at this Ripple holding on for dear life to stop it from pushing forward harder. And what a series of events that was, Skate. Good Lord.
Yeah, we saw walls combining with dead eyes on both sides. It was a strange interaction. Then Aqua Turtle doing what he did on point number 1, which is just taking the game over, just taking it into his own hands, swinging that hammer.
Oh, good Maywall in. Grab
no.
this time's got the tanks. Is it going to be enough? They'll come up a good little anti-nade there by Takari to try and keep him alive. Ooh, hammer down, bomb. The top bomb gets no one. The hammer down, though, they couldn't really follow up on it. Now another wall. Walls all over the place.
Oh, no.
Yaga, though, really just the one who's playing clean sweeper here. And he'll push forward with the rest of the team as Takari goes down. And Valor Prestige's rather bull rush there is a little bit slowed down.
Yeah, Yeaga is about 1,000 charge right now. You can see Yeaga global space just able to buzzsaw down most of that front line for Valor Prestige. And the Maywalls are coming into play here as the teams are getting cut off. So that's something you got to be mindful of, is the placement of it and whether you try to break it or not. We'll have to see how these two teams adjust.
Ooh, good anti-nade, but it's a blizzard coming up, and Jupe has that high ground on the backside, but Hutch will go down. Now we're all frozen here. Aqua Turtle will get brought out. Ripple getting the other kill. Boostio going in. Oh, you hate to see it, Skate. You really
Get him, dog.
High Noon coming out as well. Don't think they're going to get much value out of that, but sure enough, Jupe gets the mech and then finishes off the Diva.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Corbec, and say that nano wasn't intended for dog.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're probably right. He's a good boy, but not that good of a boy.
He's a very good boy.
Crazy stuff there. Now a little bit of pressure coming forward here. They're doing a good job of using this high ground. Oh no, Jupe's been caught. Oh, great bubble by Yeaga to keep him alive. Ooh. And they'll drop down and they'll get the grab as well. What a play by the Zarya. They'll boost them out of the grab with the Maywall, but this fight really going. Oh no! Goodbye, Aqua Turtle. Over the edge and into the valley, going on a little bit of a scenic tour of the darker parts of Eichenwald there. And the rest of the team will start to push forward now. Trojan is down. There's going to be a cheeky effort here by Takari to touch. Don't think he's going to make it. Oh no, Takari messed the jump. And it's a great wall there to stall him out as well.
Yeah, Cinder looked like he had 2 or 3 in the Deadeye that was downrange there, but May able to get that wall up and block any of that damage from coming through.
My Lord, Skate. Sweating buckets, bro.
Yeah, just looking like Shaq at the foul line, man.
Oh, my Lord. Shaq. Foul line. I love it. Actually, that's a really good one. I'm putting that down.
We're saving that one. We're going to put that one in the...
We're saving that one. It's a Hall of Famer right there. Poor Shaq. Anyway.
Yeah, for those that may not remember what that looked like, YouTube yourself Shaq shooting free throws. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. It looked a little bit like Takari trying to make that Moira like fade jump there to get on.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Just a little short of where you need it to be as they'll get ready for the defense here. So the double shield coming out now from Valor, Aqua Turtle and Dubstep Beats both playing the shield tanks. Trojan on the Reaper, and we've seen some great stuff out of that. Cinder not trying anything funny coming out on the McCree as well.
Yeah, we see. I mean, is this the first Baptiste we've seen?
It might very well be the first Baptiste we've seen. Obviously, Baptiste's gone down a little bit in popularity, which is a shame, but
yeah, it seems like people have been opting for more of the Ana than the Baptiste. Like he's kind of, the Ana pick rates have gone up as his has gone down. I think it's to counter a lot of the Moira play that we're seeing.
Baptiste. Anyway, they're pushing forward hard on the left side here. And Spark Chief, no! Trojan getting one early on. Spark Chief goes down not long after his Moira, and they're going to run away. And that Maywall might just have saved them from a worse route. But the folks from Valor, they want to keep going.
Trojan has played a plethora of characters. The Reaper on the right side there, where that little mini health pack room is for the defenders, right? Just set up shop in there and waited for the team to burst through, and then just got the quick pick. I like it.
And here they come around the clock tower again. Trojan in a similar spot, waiting there on the outside edge. Spark Chief going in. Here comes Trojan getting up in the ball. Oh, Trojan wrecked on the front line with a little bit of help from the McCree there. Immortality Field will come out here, and they're trying to use it. Aqua Turtle is brought down. Great shatter there to close it out. Spark Chief just pressing forward, and they will secure the point.
Yeah, that was a fairly quick shatter for a team that lost the initial team fight. I didn't really expect that. All of a sudden, here we see a shatter come. But yeah, it looks like Trojan's going to try and flank a lot on that Reaper, but No Sympathy has made the adjustment here and has come to expect it at this point.
In that particular situation, Skate, I really think Jupe just had his number, and that flash came out, I think, real quick, and Spark Chief was more than happy to send Reaper packing.
Oh,
there he is again. He got flashed one more time. That time,
yeah, Jupe's on top of it.
Jupe's on top of it. Out comes the Coalescence. Great shatter on the other side, though. They'll throw in the window as well. They got to get a few more picks than Spark Chief, though, if they really want to make this count. Hutch going down. They are going to open up some space here and push forward. And again, Valor Prestige pushing up.
Yeah, that Bongo getting some work back. Seemed to be scaring the side of No Sympathy there, ready to retract and just get out of that Bongo, because that is a lot of damage being added in.
Bongo window shatter all being thrown in on that one. Coming in on the other side is 3 ultimates as they'll start pushing forward here. Ooh, grab wall. High Noon coming out from behind. Cinder with 2 on the High Noon. Trojan as well. It's a really good May Blizzard, but there might not be enough people. No, he say that. Spark Chief trying to make up the difference on his own, but it's just not enough.
We've got a 1v1 breaking out with Trojan and Jupe. They were down in the corridors, down back behind where the payload is, and round 4 going to Trojan this time. I think they're 2-2 now on this map.
Well, that was some stirring stuff right there.
Oh, cheeky.
Ooh, they're going to try and get up on top of the castle. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Trojan's up there. Run, Trojan.
Okay, get out.
Get out of there, boy. It's not safe.
No.
They're going to come over the back top here. Spark Chief does have the shatter. Oh, I think he was trying to get
nice.
Up there.
Flipped it.
Didn't really work. Now they're pushing them back towards the payload, but Trojan coming in on the backside. Aqua Turtle's going to use that opening as well to come in with the hammer. Great play by the DPS again. Valor Prestige DPS doing so much work here, Skate, as the Team Gilgong sounds again.
Yeah, and the awareness of Aqua Turtle to realize what Trojan was doing, coming in with Blossom, knowing that he's got the freedom basically to swing away, because when the Reaper comes in and Death Blossoms, that takes all of your attention. That is, public enemy number 1 when he's around spinning, yelling, die, die, die. So great job to capitalize on the back of that ult.
Not really subtle about it, is he?
No, not really. He's just going to tell you what he's going to do.
Trojan over the top now, trying to put in pressure.
Great
Window
block.
coming a little far forward. Oh, Lord. Here's a push and a half. Sound barrier coming out. They've got them all bunched up against the wall, but they couldn't quite get it. High noon coming out. There goes Spark Chief. Oh no. It's curtains for Crack.
Aqua's gonna press it.
Bryax is down here. Yega will get one. So they're slightly turning around, but Jupe and Ripple split off and brought down. And again, the door has been shut in the faces of the Crackers.
Yeah, this is an impressive hold by Valor Prestige right now. When they got stalled out on the attack on the bridge, I thought that may have been the issue that would cost them this map, but they got kind of run over there on that first point, but have dug in under the bridge here.
Great bongo placement early on. The Coalescence will come out. Yega loses the mech almost immediately.
Trojan.
SM Trojan caught out there, but they can't really follow up on this Coalescence. That bongo kind of holding them back. Spark Chief trying to create a little bit of space, but they're having to play so cautiously around the corner here. Still a minute 30 left on the clock, though, Skate, so plenty of time left in this fight.
Yeah, they're taking their time getting this drive going here, but
good push by Trojan again. Oh no, Trojan in the back line gets two. Cinder coming in from the front, and once more the hammer and the DPS here just drive Crackers back out the door.
Trojan, he's going to have to get his mail forwarded to the back line of No Sympathy because he's just living there right now. He's set up shop. He's going to.
It'll be the castle again by the looks of it. They'll drive Trojan off the high ground to carry up there for a second. Jupe has the high noon. That will be brought out right about here. High noon from the other side coming out as well. No success. Oh, no success on either of them, but Hutch does go down early. Trojans on the back already. Spark Chief swing on that. Good shatter there. Trying to take advantage. A little bit of a stun there. Slows down the pursuit, but it doesn't slow it down enough because here comes the rest of Valor. Yega jumps off and in hopes that they can reset. They might get one more fight.
I think they should be able to get one more fight, but they're going to have to move quickly. I don't even know if it's going to be a full push as a team here. We'll have to see. We've got 4 coming in here. We got both supports, a tank, and a DPS.
Okay, beat down bongos out early. Coalescence coming out almost immediately. You can feel the pressure from that coming in. Trojan in the backline just trying to create some havoc. Unfortunately, Ripple goes down almost right away, but Cinder returns the favor. Counter sound barriers coming out now. Both teams absolutely brawling. Look at Trojan. He'll get brought down. Spark Chief getting 2. Is this the opening that they need? Yega pushing forward there, helping his tank out. Jupe just running in a straight line, blasting away with the shotguns. And there's nothing that Valor can do but give up ground. Oh, right.
Great block.
Oh, no. Aqua Tree is down. Dubstep trying to hold on up the front. Can't quite manage it long enough, though. Now it's all down to the heroic efforts of one Lucio, who decides that it would be more heroic if he was back taxiing in his team.
Yeah, but he's got to be ready to touch here because this is going to be close.
Oh, no. They got to stop it.
Tracer was able to get in there.
Tracer comes on with the bomb on the backside. Trojan barely managed to avoid that. No joy on the Death Blossom this time, though, as Trojan is brought down. Oh, no. Huge boop. Dog getting 1, manages to get the Lucio back on side just in time, and now they've returned the favor. There goes Yega's Diva Mech. Absolute scrum happening around the point right now. Oh,
no, everybody's getting booped.
The blizzard comes out. They will get some space outside of the blizzard, and they'll continue the fight. Things not looking good for Crackers. Crackers trying to hold on here. Yega dropping the bomb in point blank there. That'll get shielded almost right away. Cinder coming in on the Doomfist, trying to pick up one. Oh, huge boop again. Dog, once more, Dog, the man in charge. Shatter gets Bryaxed in the back line, but they can't quite finish it off. I think this might signal the end, though. Spark Chief holding on. It's another boop. My Lord in heaven almighty. Geez. Dog is unstoppable. He is an environmental killing machine, but in the good way, not the, slash and burn way.
Not like the killing the rainforest. He's Dog the Boop Hunter right now. Oh my
Dog the Boop Hunter. My Lord, living up to that Thanatos part of his name, hardcore there.
Absolutely. Oh my word. We're gonna need a break after that one. My God.
We are indeed gonna pop into an intermission now, Skates.
Oh, great.
24 sound barriers provided.
You know,
that boy his boop card. Give him his boop card. Where is it?
Yeah, give him the boop card. Come on.
Good Lord. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here to Friday Night Overwatch with the Gaming League. I am Corbec, joined by Skateaction, here for your commentary with Sultan in the production booth, and we've got an absolute banger of a matchup here between No Sympathy Crackers and Valor Prestige. It has been a knock 'em down, drag 'em out fight, Skate. This has been some crazy stuff so far on our first two maps.
We've seen a little bit of everything. I feel like I say that every time we broadcast, but we've seen a lot. We've seen the boops, we've seen the Reinhardt plays, we've seen the big DPS flanks, we've seen everything, and it's only halftime. We still got 2 more maps.
We do still have 2 more maps, and it has been some maps, let me tell you. Our first match, Ilios, down to the wire. Eichenwald was very close as well, despite neither team pushing the payload all that far. There was just an absolute scrum on that last point, and then we had the bootmaster himself there, Dog Thanatos, going in and just knocking people left, right, and center off the Eichenwald bridge. You shall not pass in full effect, and honestly, Skate, I kind of hope that somebody clips it and put the Benny Hill music to it, because that was really something.
Please, that whole last fight, that's what we need, that whole last fight, because that's kind of what happened. And this, don't forget about the brawl that we had in that little building that was where the spawn is for the attackers after they've capped point 1 that they couldn't find themselves out of. So we've seen a little bit of everything.
Just back and forth, just reeling and fighting. It's great stuff. I mean, it's great Overwatch. Thank you so much for being here tonight and watching with us. Of course, keep in mind, we do have another game coming up after this. We'll also have a brief little sort of halftime desk or intermission period in between the 2 of them, so you can join in and see Bullskunk and Chef Billy and what they have to say about their upcoming game. But it looks like, I think we're about ready to hop into our next map here, which will be Hanamura. So I hope you like cherry blossoms, Skate. You're gonna be seeing a lot of them.
I'm a bit of a fan of cherry blossoms. We'll put it that way. I'm not opposed to cherry blossoms, so that works for me.
I mean, are there people who are opposed to cherry blossoms? Makes you wonder.
Not people that I'm friends with.
Very strong line. Oh, good point. All right. Skate throwing down a stance on cherry blossoms hard here as we go into Hanamura. Hanamura, actually my favorite map in the entire game, funny enough, at least visually.
Really?
I think it's beautiful. It is one of my absolute favorites. My absolute favorite, I should say, with the city view and the beautiful cherry trees and all that stuff. But we're not talking about aesthetics. We're talking about these 2 teams, and it has been, kind of a slugfest here, Skate. I don't think we see any sign of that changing.
I don't think we see any signs of that changing. Eichenwald, or I'm sorry, not Eichenwald. Eichenwald is where we just came from. Hanamura plays into that quite a bit, so you'll see a lot of brawling right there at that first choke, the gates of hell, as it were, as you try to make your way through that jump.
Yeah, the gates of hell, indeed. By the way, big thank you to Maza in the gift subs, very much appreciated. As we get ready to go here, they'll set up for the defense. Aqua Turtle moving up on the Rhine, nothing surprising there. You did also, expect probably something like this, the Arissa and the Reinhardt here. On the other side, they'll be running the Diva, so a little bit of verticality coming in as they get ready to go. That strike coming out, I don't think really got a lot of joy on that for Aqua Turtle. He'll get another one there. Not much on that either. They'll start to push forward here pretty aggressively. Trojan with the wall. Oh, Trojan throws it up almost a second too late. Look at how many of them came over it. But it's not enough there. Spark Chief Jupe, Jaeger loses the mech, and that'll send the rest of them packing right back out the front door.
My word, and right on cue as we were talking about at the gates of hell. Right there.
It's a little bit of that Hanamura hospitality just from the boys over here at Valor Prestige. They will set up again one more time, trying to fight this one out. Aqua Turtle looking, just kind of swinging his hammer angrily. Icicles around the outside. They'll start to push forward here. Spark Chief coming in, throws the fire strike down the middle. That's an interesting wall there. Wall comes out, but it's way too late. The Foxes are in the hen house now, and they're up on the high ground. Cinder goes down. Jupe trading there. They're coming in over the top. Spark Chief just swinging for the fences. Good May wall in. Can they capitalize? No. Spark Chief misses the charge, but look at another one. The wall on the counter side cost Spark Chief, but it's still an absolutely anyone's game right now. They're fighting back and forth here. The D.Va trying to clear a little bit of space. They're using those CC abilities to full effect, but they can't get anything. Out comes the beatdown Bongo. Ripple is out. Dubstep Beat performing that corner shield trick. We've seen that before on Ilios, and it will be enough this time for them to hold on as Hutch decides that discretion is the better part of Valor.
Yeah, and the good part about that, if you are, I see what you're saying there. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But on the part of Valor Prestige, able to not allow a single tick on the point as we come to the halfway point on this attack.
It was a really solid defense there by Valor, but Gates of Hell again. Ooh.
Another defensive wall.
Wall coming out, window coming out there. All sorts of furniture, or I should, architecture being deployed here on Hanamura as they consider going in. Trojan knows that they've got a Reinhardt there. He's trying to get some shots, and I can't quite get it. Out comes that Maywall again. Oh, counter Maywall,
nice job.
Split. Oh, but they'll come right through. High Noon. Shatter is in as well. Aqua Turtle pushes up with Cinder, and they're just going to clear the deck. Cinder and Aqua Turtle combining to wipe out most of the enemy team, and they'll add Jupe to the tally, and that'll force another reset. So far, absolutely brutal hold here by Valor.
Yeah, a cheeky little play by Trojan, able to set up on the right side for the defense, and after that wall came, knew that they were going to use the Maywall defensively because that's what they've done the whole time, and able to set up and wall the team off.
Trojan throwing in the Blizzard this time on the back line. Absolutely devastating. Bomb coming in. The sound barrier might have been a bit too early. No. Only the Maywall down as they'll continue fighting. Trojan getting 2. Dubstep Beats pushing forward, and the door is shut again. Crackers really needs something good to come out of the ultimates they have, Skate.
Yeah, this defense is impressive by Valor Prestige. They bent a little bit at the beginning, but they never broke. It is a nice example of the bend but don't break, but we'll have to see. No swaps here on the side of No Sympathy. I'm surprised to see that this late in the game, that they just kind of stuck with it the whole time.
Well, here they come. Valor Prestige pushing in. They're going to throw the Blizzard in as well. It's a decent Blizzard. It zones them out. They have to, though. They spend a lot of time taking down Aqua. The Death Blossom in the back line gets no one, but now they're getting the kills. Yeah, both contributing. Jupe again, the Reaper going on a tear. And they will finally break down this defense, but what a defense it was by Valor.
Yeah, Jupe was able to actually teleport on top of the point. He did it a couple times before, but without any success, and that time he was actually able to get the Death Blossom in and create the space needed.
Well, it's going to be an aggressive push forward here. Shatter in the tank, Skate, but not a lot of other ultimates in the bank.
Yeah, not attackers. A lot working. It may be a bit of a dry run here. We'll have to see. Shatter and Coalescence are enough to push with.
Well, they're coming straight up into the engage. Good Maywall there. Not a lot you can do about that except break it down. Counter Maywall, that was interesting. Blizzard, High Noon, why not throw Shatter as well?
Everybody's got a Y button, just press it.
Everything. But the kills really not immediately going in favor of the defenders here. Now Dubstep is in trouble.
Oh, good wall.
Oh boy, that is a good wall to section him off, but Dubstep going down now in this fight, turning against the team with the more ultimates. They'll be forced to drop back down to the low ground and reset the defense here. As the majority Ripple playing on the outside edge, trying to get in a little bit of a cheeky freeze. Now it's Jupe dropping in on the back line just to pressure the Reinhardt. What absolute madness am I watching here, Skate?
Jaeger dancing without tanks for like 30 seconds.
This fight is still going on. Look at that bomb on the backside. Great sound barrier to cancel it out. Now the window comes out as well. Maywall's all over the place. There was a sound barrier used. And the kills finally going in the way of the defenders. Finally. After an absolutely huge, long brawl fest there on all sides. My Lord.
I don't have words for what I just saw. That was up and now Yega's getting staggered. Oh, this is unfortunate.
I tell you what, Skate, neither of these teams wanted to stop that fight. I mean, I can understand the defenders not being able to regroup, but crackers, man, they did not want to reset. That was like, we just keep going.
Yeah, no, we go deeper. They had no tanks. They had a demech D.Va. That's the only way the D.Va survived after that Maywall was getting demeched. and somehow able to get the mech back and survive and create a team fight out of that because Jaeger was also able to get back.
Don't stop till you get enough. Apparently, the team motto there didn't quite work out for them, and now they're coming. Hello, Maywall coming in a little too late. The Blizzard, they might have caught Dudsteps out. They'll throw out the sound barrier as well, but now it's Jupe. The twists and turns of these fights, absolutely amazing here, because now it's Bryax. Bryax going down, Jupe down, Ripple, Hutch, they're all getting murdered in that corridor, and they'll have to run back, and they might not have enough time here for the reset. Only the 2 tanks close enough. And I don't know that either of them can touch.
I don't think they can. We'll have to see here. If Ryan can get a charge
going in for the charge. That's got to be what it is. The wall's going to be there. Go, Jaeger, go. Jaeger nearly gets pooped. He'll stay on. Jaeger stays on again. Everyone throwing everything they've got in, but Bryax going down to high noon. That might seal this. Good shatter on the other side by Aqua Turtle. As they continue to zoom out, and Valor wants to hold on to this. They will hold on to this. Hutch, the only one left. They throw in the sound barrier because why not at this point? And they will hold on. No ticks there on the point skate. Great defense.
One point for the way of No Sympathy, but an interesting little exchange there as they went in. Jupe had that Death Blossom, fired off the Death Blossom at the same time that the May decided to use the ice wall and actually walled Reaper up above everyone, and Reaper fell on the wrong side of the wall, so they got no value out of that Reaper ult. It is an unfortunate miscommunication there.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. You know, and sometimes an inch is all it takes to separate some of those plays, and that's exactly what it was. It was a mistiming and placement of that wall that kind of negated that big Death Blossom on that point.
It really, yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes Skate, it really is a game of inches. That's a really good example in play. I'm glad you picked up on that because I barely noticed it. There's so many flashing colors on my screen.
It looks like an anime right now.
Yeah,
screen, like
it's all Dragon Ball Z, like Dragon Ball Z all the way down. Just a lot of screaming and bright flashing lights.
I think I'm playing pinball over here. We got so much going on. I don't know.
You love it though. So, just correct me if I'm wrong, Skate. But if Valor Prestige takes that 1 tick on the second point, they have won the series. Correct?
Yes, that is the way that works. So it will only be a 4-map series at that point.
Do they even need to get a tick on the second point? They do, right? Yeah, they need to.
Yes, they still need it. They wouldn't need to get a tick on that point because the draw would win them the series.
I've been playing this game for how long, and I still don't understand how this works. Anyway, Aqua Turtle pushing in for the front door, but he's won now. Aqua rotating back into that room. Oh, look at the team coming to save him, though. Aqua Turtle's got friends in low places and high places and pretty much everywhere, but it's not enough. God. And they'll get knocked back out the front door, though, of course, everybody's favorite good boy gets a little bit of the P action there and takes Jupe out.
Yeah, Garth Brooks would be impressed with all the friends that he has in all the places, not just the low ones.
They did an amazing job getting in there and backing him up. I mean, they didn't win the fight, but it was impressive.
These teams like to brawl in small places.
Good God, they really do like to brawl in tight spaces. It's true. Oh, Break My Wall's coming up, and they'll both come in now. Immortality Field was in. That was really good. Shatter coming in, though. Aqua Turtle totally got caught out by that. They're trying to fall back now. They'll lose Cinder to the Fire Strike, and Jaeger just shows them the front door like a bouncer who's caught somebody drinking underage at a nightclub. Just throws him right out.
Just throws him right out. No, he was going to throw him out and ask questions later. So, my word, look at this defense on the side of No Sympathy. They kind of got punched in the mouth by the defense of Valor and have stepped up to task here and are setting themselves up nicely.
Well, here they come. Forward in. Wall coming up, but the May Wall actually blocks that window. Good freeze coming in, and it'll only cost them actually Trojan, but not really able to push up as much as they wanted to on the back of that blue. Might have been a little bit of a miscommunication there, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's probably what that was. And now the teams are separated on opposite sides of this doorway. We'll have to see if they can group together on this push. May have to use the May Wall to kind of create yourself some room to get in here together.
All right. Well, they're playing the door very cautiously now. There's the Maywall. Oh, good counter Maywall coming out. Oh, no. Again. Here comes the team. Shatter coming out. Doesn't get much. They'll throw in the Bob and the Blizzard. The High Noon coming in as well. And Bob really doing the lion's share of the work. Everybody's favorite robot cleaning up the point there.
Yeah.
As any good butler would, Skate.
Yes, and because he's a butler, I like to refer to him as Robert when I am talking to him. Very proper on that. But yeah, it helps. It created a 7-on-6 as it usually does, and it's a numbers game at that point.
Yep. Robert doing great work there as they get ready to set again, and Valor can't pick the lock of this gate here on Hanamura. There comes the wall. They get the slow counter wall. They got through this time. Shatter coming in gets no one. This might be the opportunity they need. Oh, Ripple is down early. Is this what they had? This is the opening that they need. Cinder gets Jaeger. That might be enough. Here they come, smashing onto the point. The kills are stacking up. To carry getting one. Now Aqua Turtle is all over this point. It's a valiant effort by Bryax on the Baptiste to hold on for as long as he can, but ultimately meaningless as they do take the point.
It's not going to be enough as making use of that bongo of dubstep beats. That it was an assist on all those kills. So apparently they just needed that little bit of damage boost from that bongo to get them over the hump, and it paid off tremendously.
Alrighty then. Time to get that tick, Skate.
Absolutely.
They need the tick.
Nobody wants a tie.
Nobody wants a tie. 3 minutes on the clock. They'll come charging down the middle. Walls in on both sides. Bob coming to join the show as well. The window's out here. Kills being traded back and forth. They're still going, fighting around, but really things not going in favor of Valor at this point in time as Cracker shows them out. And a little bit of tactical crouching there by Spark Chief as well.
You got to make sure you're dodging those bullets as they're coming in. You don't want to get caught sleeping.
Just letting him know he's thinking about him,
just letting you know.
Just letting him know he's there. Yeah. Oh, Jupe getting picked on the sniper duel with the May of all things. You don't often do that.
You don't see that often.
Yeah, ashes to ashes, as they would say.
Hey,
out comes the press straight up the middle. Aqua Turtle leading the edge here. Trojan throwing that Blizzard in again. It's good for zoning him out. It's really split the team. The beatdown bongo will come in. Can they make this count, though? Counter Blizzard coming out. The sound barrier will follow it up. Cinder popping off with the Death Blossom. Is it enough? Trojan getting a pick as well. Can they overcome the respawn advantage fast enough, though? They're still fighting this out. The high ground absolutely dominated by Jupe on the Ash, who's just trying to get in whatever shots they can. The kills going back fast and furious, but really this does not favor the attackers. And in a spectacular combination of violence, they will clear the point.
Jupe coming in big, getting the picks when it needed, able to get onto that high ground. Had someone else to contest the point the whole time. That just gives Ash that free reign to just shoot down onto that point.
Whew. And the reset here. Of course, even if this is a tie, of course, Skate, Valor will have won the series.
Correct.
But don't tell these guys that. They're playing for every table right now. They're coming straight up the middle there, but look at this sight line from Jupe just pumping those shots in, the constant pow, pow, pow of the Ash on the high ground. Not getting a lot of picks, but definitely being a nuisance. Walls coming in on both sides. It's an absolute brawl again in a really tight space. Great shatter, though. Oh, but Yega's knocked off the edge. Goodbye, Yega. As I'll try and keep the fight going there on the high ground, but Jupe, again, uncontested, pumping in the damage. And once more, Ripple, the sole casualty here, as they'll show them the door, and Valor will be forced to reset with time going down. Dubbeat taking the jump there so they can get that mech back.
It looks like we're setting up for a final fight here as we see 3 ults on the side of No Sympathy and only 2 on the side of Valor Prestige. We have Cinder swapping over to that Doomfist. They did make a swap on the DPS, so I'm curious to see what they're expecting with this Doomfist, what value they can get out of it.
All right, let's see what they got here. They're trying to go straight up the corridor. It's a Baptiste window there to slow them down. Now they're trapped between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. The Ash Fire coming in, the window in front, and they're running out of time. Blue wire, red wire, pick one. They'll go up on the high ground, throw the Blizzard out. It's a trap to catch Jaeger, but somebody's got to touch. They've got to get on. Somebody does get on. The window coming out in the most interesting of places. There's a great counter Blizzard coming out on the other side. Can they stay alive through all of that?
The kills pouring in fast and furious here and not in favor of Valor. And it does look like this will be really actually going the way of cracked crackers, but not through lack of trying. And they will get the tie.
Absolutely. We're going to draw here. So that's going to make it 2-0-1. That will make the series go to Valor Prestige.
It will make the series go to Valor Prestige, but of course, Skate, we will be playing the last map in the series for map score purposes. This one's not quite done, but man, these games, this has been an absolute banger of a match, all things considered.
Oh man, it's a fun one. That's for sure. I'm glad we get a fourth one. This match is a lot. That match score will have you.
It is actually, I agree. It's been a really close on all counts. I mean, again, neither team really going that deep, I feel like, into the objectives, but every fight around the objectives is very tight, very, very hard fought. I think some of the most utter chaos I've seen really coming in this match so far in the CGL season. It's been really impressive.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready, coming into our last map here, which will be Rialto. We can safely say, of course, that Valor has taken the win at this point in time with the 2-0-1 scoreline. But that being said, map score is still really important, especially early on in the season. And of course, there's a little bit of pride here on the line as well. I think No Sympathy, Crackers, they have been kind of warming up to Valor as this has been going on. And as we said, it's been close.
It's definitely nothing to hang your head on by any stretch. And the good part about a draw, it does come into play because it doesn't affect your map differential, so you don't end up losing that map. So it kind of just throws that map out like it never happened. So that's what you're playing for there, and you can still get that other map win, which will go towards that overall season standing, because that is a tiebreaker when it comes down to the end of the year. You want to make sure you have as many of those map wins for that map differential as you can get.
It's true. It is true. Map score does matter, and we've seen it matter seasons going all the way back almost to the start of our Overwatch tournaments. It really has mattered at times. So there's still a lot to play for. Going into Rialto, of course, we have the Corner of Death. And I feel like we probably need a more Italian name for it. I don't.
It does seem like we do.
I don't know what the Italian word for death is, but it's out there somewhere. If anybody's got it, please do send it to us. But they're going to be fighting on the Corner of Death here. Morto, thank you, Chef Billy, our master linguist there. Thank you very much. The Corner de Morto there. But they are going to be fighting out, and they love those tight fights, Skate. I mean, this is just like handmade for these teams.
It really is. We're gonna. If you are a fan of brawls, you're about to get a lot more on Rialto. Just make sure you got your popcorn ready, because this is going to be a good finish.
Some environmental kills as well, maybe. I don't know. Dog Thanatos loves the boops. Boop for the boop god. Coming up right? On this one. If I was on the other side, I'd that bridge with more than a little bit of apprehension, especially the one coming straight out of point. I'll be interested to see if we get some of that coming in. But yeah, Rialto, last map. Actually really like Rialto too. This week's map pool has been one of my favorites, I think, so far. I think I might be in the minority, though, in terms of liking Rialto as a map. I feel like more people dislike it than enjoy it.
Yeah, I've come to see that a lot, but like I talked about in the pregame, I think it just opens you up to all different styles of play. So it's one of those very versatile maps, and that's what you're looking for when you're creating a map, is you want that versatility so that you can play all these different styles, and one type of player doesn't feel singled out either. So you don't want to handcuff anybody by the map design.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we could probably spend hours talking about map design in Overwatch and how it all. And Lord knows I'm not a map designer by trade, so I couldn't tell you what's good.
I'm not either. So,
Skate, no, don't let him in. Don't let the mask slip. You gotta keep it up, bro.
I'm not a cartographist.
They don't know that. A cartographist. I believe the term is cartographer, sir, but make sure you change that before you get the business cards printed, okay?
I'll make sure to get that changed.
Thank you very much, Sultan, for gifting subs. I do appreciate that as well. 3 tier 1 subs coming in there, keeping the game going. And to those of you who got your subs, welcome back. Of course, don't go anywhere. There is more Watch to come here tonight. After we are done here, we'll be having a brief break, and then you'll be seeing Chef Billy and Bullskunk on here to cast the Descendants versus Danny DeFito in a tier 4 game. Same maps, of course, but whole different set, different tier, different everything. So plenty to stick around and watch here, and we do hope you continue. We are just waiting for the ready up here, Skate, before we hop into Rialto. Yep. Hopefully we'll get it in just a second. A little bit of a discussion here about how they want to work their teams. And
yeah, I'm waiting on the ready up from both teams. So that is the only thing that we are waiting on. Making sure we get all the spectators swapped. That can be a bit of a hassle sometimes, as anybody that's run a lobby knows. So make sure we get everything, all those boxes checked before we hit the go button.
A little bit of pressure here on the cast to get to ready up.
Yeah, we're just running around.
We are. I do think Skate, we see that brawl though. In fact, I think we probably see more May. Both these teams really favoring the May wall and causing all sorts of havoc with them.
Yeah.
It's been a very interesting. I think one of the interesting things we've seen has been the kind of which May wall comes first. There's a little bit of a standoff there about who walls first. I think on Hanamura, we generally saw that it was obviously the attacker's kind of prerogative to throw down the first May wall, which really opened up the defenders to get theirs in a kind of a more differential perspective. But we have seen some interesting May wall plays. On Eichenwald, we saw the May wall high noon boost. That was pretty creative.
Yeah. And then we saw the accidental Death Blossom boost as well. So
the accidental Death Blossom boost, yes.
Very creative uses of these May walls. This is, I think, the first time where I've seen a lot more defensive May walls across an entire match. It's a little bit of a different use of May, not being as aggressive and being more defensive with her.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think that has something to do with the fact that, these teams are probably already starting to maybe think forward to next week when you don't have the Lucio for the speed, and how you want to play things maybe a little bit slower. I mean, we definitely saw the attack there at the end of Hanamura, the reliance on that speed boost to try and close those stairs as quickly as possible, and we're probably going to see it here again, Skate.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we see more of that in the next few minutes here as we are going to get set up on Rialto, and we did switch sides yet again. So we will have Valor Prestige in the red and No Sympathy, Cracked Crackers in the blue.
Indeedy. Well, let's see what we've got going on the boil. Probably no big surprise there as Aqua coming out with the Reinhardt. Dubstep Beats picking the hog, Skate. I assume that might be a little bit of a debate. Okay, the Winston definitely is. Debate. There's no way. Who would do that?
I wouldn't do that.
In this day and age, at this time of year, in this
right,
in this console gaming league.
Wow, wild man.
Oh, they might actually be going for the dive here. Oh no! Oh, come on, guys, don't do that to me. I was actually getting excited. Jupe on the Ash. They'll come out on the left side here. I guess technically. Depends on where you're standing. They've got a Torbjorn throwing down the turret there. I think they're going to have a little bit of problems running into that Ash. As Zenyatta in the back line kind of trying to push Jupe off the high ground. They'll continue to come forward here as Takeri will switch over to the Moira there as soon as they come out the door. Good, strong push really coming forward here. Really not a lot of pressure being applied to them at all. Crackers just keeps backing up and giving space here. Yeaga trying to put in the damage, but it's Bryax who dies first. And a very solid corner hold. Not quite the corner of death, but Trojan going to work on that Torbjorn. And they'll just open it up. Jupe kind of stuck back here in the back line, falling back as well. And Jupe will be hounded to the ends of the earth and brought down finally by Takeri. And wow, that is a brutal first point capture there, Skate.
It looks like we've got to regroup and we're going to have a contest here maybe. Oh, not able to touch.
Nope.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, now they're stuck in this awkward spot. Spark Chief doesn't even want to take the fight. He'll go right over the edge. Jupe, the last one standing, will just stand and accept the fate.
Run, Hutch, run.
They'll reset here, and man, Valor kind of coming out hard here. Skate not slowing down at all.
The corner of death turned into the corner of pressure from Valor Prestige. Those tanks just pressed forward on that left stick, and I don't think they let go of it because they were all up in the face of No Sympathy, and there was just no answer for that aggression.
High Noon coming out. Window comes out. Oh, Bryax caught out looking, trying to get out. Couldn't get any advantage off of that. Jupe is in the back line, but I don't know what they're going to be on that Ash. In fact, just hiding here as the rest of the team just backpedals. Jäger goes down as well, and they're just bleeding out by inches here, Skate, on the second point. And that time bank is not slowing down. No one's going to be able to contest them as they come up and take this point as well. Oh, and Trojan gets the hammer kill as well.
Brought the hammer of justice down, did Trojan. But this is exactly what No Sympathy needed. They needed to not try and push test there. They have not actually reset since that first team fight. They have staggered themselves in. It looks like they are backing out to try and get a full team reset. Nice regroup here.
Well, Beatdown Bongo coming out early. Jupe still playing this Ash. They're trying to push forward here. It's a decent dynamite over the top. Look at all the ground they've surrounded. Out the blizzard, and they'll throw in the sound barrier as well. There comes Bob. And finally, after committing a significant number of ultimates, I think they have started to turn around. Finally, after almost 2.5 stages, Crackers will stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I think that was the call in the comms, if I had to guess. Down when they start to turn the corner, we'll pop some ults and try and win this fight there, because nothing really had worked until that point. It took 4 ults, but I think you're good.
Well, now the ult advantage is firmly in favor of the attackers. Push forward here. Both the Blizzard. Great
big
shatter to cut off the molten core as well. Absolute disaster. They'll lose Aqua, but is it enough to stem the press? Cinder going down. Jaeger, they're trading back and forth here as they continue to fight this one out, but the cart's moving forward. Somebody's got to stop the cart. They can't get back to it. Finally, Hutch gets on.
Oh, there's Dog, though.
Hutch trying to hold it back. Dog and Hutch dueling over the top of the boxes there for a second as Spark Chief comes forward to try and hold the line here. Jupe on the outside edge as the Ash trying to get fire down the outside edge. Can't really do it. Jäger rotating around, just trying to maintain this front line. Out comes the High Noon, so they got to try and burst the shield here. It will happen. There goes Ripple. Bob coming in aggressively, though, into the back line. Might be enough to really cause some pressure, but no, they'll lose the Bob early on. Shatter, great one coming on the backside. Jäger trying to push forward, trying to get some sort of value out of this. Everybody's on fire there for a second as Jäger continues to try and win this one out. The Maywall coming up there. Not enough. Another solid dynamite over the top, but is it enough of a solid dynamite for them to really turn this one around? There is no let up on the pressure here, ladies and gentlemen. None at all.
I love this. No give on the side of this Valor Prestige. Not wanting to give up an inch of ground that they've already gained.
Valor Prestige pushing forward hard. Another Bob coming in now. Jäger getting 2 with Fire Strike. Bob and Spark Chief combining to finish off the others. And they will put an end to this attack finally. But the aggression from Valor, they do not want to stop.
No, Aqua Turtle just stood at the end of that payload and just held his ground and waited all the way for Dubstep Beats, to come back and get all the way back in that fight. That was a valiant effort by the side of Valor Prestige.
Yeah, Valor Prestige holding these double doors like everything depends on it. But now the press coming forward. Out comes an early Fire Strike. No luck there from I Am Aqua Turtle. The Blizzard coming in. That's a good Blizzard. Takari is caught in it. Can they finish off Takari? Spark Chief will go down, but Jäger immediately returns favor. And the kill feed slowly lighting up blue here as the defenders are making the best of this situation. The Reinhardt's dying within seconds of one another. Now Trojan, though, with that little bit of spike on Jupe. And that might be enough.
Contestable.
They're gonna keep pushing forward, I think, here, even without the supports. Valor again not wanting to surrender any ground whatsoever if they can avoid it.
Cinder looks like he's setting up for a cheeky little Deadeye here.
Cinder maybe looking for the Deadeye to set up the Molten Core. Now the sound barrier coming in early on. I'm not sure value that in this particular situation. They're getting shoved off to the side. Molten Core coming out, kind of trying to wall off the point here from a lot of the pressure. Hutch is down. Somehow they're getting pushed back around the backside. Shatter gets Yaya out. The card's going to go forward almost on its own. Trojan trying to win it out. Trojan can't quite do it. Now the rest of the team is pushing forward with Trojan. Aqua Turtle is there. It might be too little too late. No, they're getting the kills. Bob misses the cart. Cinder gets one as well. Can they just push this one through to the end? Yaya gets the carry. They're still going. Neither side letting off the pressure here, and they finally complete.
That was 4.5 minutes of the third point on Rialto. It was 5.5 minutes when the second point was capped. So an eternity that the defense had to hold. But tip of the cap to them to hold it down to 1:07 on the clock. This game is something else. They are putting on a show for Friday Night Overwatch.
They really are, Skate. That was an absolute knockdown, drag them out brawl like we've seen all evening, and we would expect nothing less.
No, absolutely not. It's all sides. It's not like you have two tanks that are big going at it, or just some strong DPS flanking each other. It's everybody on both sides up and down these rosters right now. This is quite a display. This is some great tier 5 Overwatch.
Really truly is. And now they'll get the reset on the defense, and looks like they're going to come out with the Bastion strategy, but you got to feel a little bit for Crackers here, because after that absolute slugfest there at the end, this is the last mountain that you want to climb, all things considered. If I'm being honest, I almost feel like the map should be over after that one, Skate. Good Lord.
I know. We still got a whole round, man. Like,
we still got a whole another push.
Buckle in. We haven't seen anything yet.
It ain't ended. It isn't over until it's over. Also, by the way, let's all take a minute to appreciate Dog riding so high up. Definitely looking for the boops there.
That is impressive. I don't even think he's in Rialto anymore. He's so
it's like a bird of prey up there. Unfortunately, they caught him out and pushed him back. They're pushing forward now. Yega trying to engage in the brawl in the corner of death.
Oh, the turret!
Early on. You hate to see it, because when the Bastion goes down, this becomes infinitely harder now for attackers. That's the centerpiece of the strategy getting taken out. But even as I say that, Aqua getting maybe a little bit too greedy. They're going to back up here. They'll lose Spark Chief. Now Jupe in danger on the Bastion. They're really just going to use Yega's shield. Yega can't sustain this, though. Somebody's going to have to push forward or go back, one or the other. Jupe now on the Bastion will start to advance. They're going to use Yega kind of as the rotation point here. Now Jupe's going to set up and use the beatdown, or the barrier, the window, to try and open things up. The Molten Core doesn't get quite as far as they need it to. They will lose Hutch here, though. Ooh. So again, the attack just getting stalled by inches, Skate.
Yeah, and the Molten Core really cut off the point of attack, and we see the flanking Bastion strategy now. You don't see that a lot.
Now in the left side, Jupe has set up in turret form, just again trying to use this turret to hold things off more than anything else. As they rotate around the front of the cart here, Jupe huge shatter, or from Aqua Turtle. Good Lord, huge counter shatter on the other side. Yaya gets one, but neither of them result in any eliminations. Amazing. Out comes the beatdown Bongos now as they try and push up the street. Now can Jupe hold on to this position and keep that fire going? It looks like, yes, he can. Now the tank ultimate comes out. Jupe doing a little bit of jumping for us as well. Unfortunately, can't get a lot of value out of this.
Oh my.
It's really just going nowhere as they continue to push forward here. There goes the tire, gets nothing. My. Finally, to carry will go down. But out comes the sound already right away. It's immortality all over the place. Good for Core. Excellent Molten Core. And Trojan just sweeps them away.
Welcome to Friday Night Overwatch. Trojan. Big plays after big plays on this defense. Had the cheeky turret to start things off, not allowing Jupe to get set up on the point. that really, handcuffs one of these Bastion strategies when you don't get that initial push onto the point. They've struggled to set up shop, and then the huge Molten Core first to zone off the point, forcing the team around, and then that one to get 3 or 4 kills.
It was a spectacular Molten Core, great opportunistic play. Out comes the window with a little bit of coalescence. That is air being put forward. They'll actually get dubstep speed out on the outside. Now will they be able to push this forward? This is looking very good here for Crackers. Aqua Turtle caught off and brought down. Don't know why I keep calling him Aqua Tree, but it's okay because they're going to take point number 1. Wow. Okay then. What happened there, Skate? Suddenly the rock turned into a piece of paper.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's so quick, the swings of this game. The momentum is so big right now. We saw it on the other side when Valor Prestige were attacking. Once they got the ball rolling, it didn't want to stop until the end of the 3rd point. We'll see if No Sympathy can repeat that. But Dog Thanatos, big boop in the back line.
Boop Master General in the building. Cinder dropping down the back. Cinder!
Dog!
No! Somebody oh my lord, stop this, Lucio.
Somebody put him in his cage right now.
Put him back in Moira jail or something. Good lord.
Whew.
He's an absolute monstrosity. And they hold the edge of the canal, which is really, Skate, honestly, not a usual hold point for this game, to be honest.
I don't know that I've seen anybody set up here, and a cheap turret placement by Trojan. Trojan trying to play big brain here with that turret, taking No Sympathy's eyes off of the front line with it.
Beatdown Bongo is in. Dog Thanatos is up though. Look at, there he is. Dog going in. Oh no! Ooh, ow! Ooh. I hate to see it. Dog absolutely shredded. Good Molten Core though. Jaeger caught out. He'll be forced to fall back here. Now the Coalescence coming in on the other side, kind of putting them forward, allowing them to use a little bit of pressure here. Can they take the corner? The Molten Core is down, and they will get 2 picks. This might be enough to open up the door for Crackers. Whipple popping off there on the Ash, getting those picks, showing them how it's done.
We're gonna have a meeting here at the end of this. I think Respawn are out. Everybody is back up except for Trojan, who died late. We should see a recontest.
But they're pushed up so far here, Skate, though, trying to choke them out of momentum from getting in. No, they can't do it. The sound barrier comes out too late. The pressure isn't there. And now Jaeger and Spark Chief are just clearing mountains of space on the front line. Even as I say that, though, Jaeger's shield does go down. Spark Chief will be eaten up not long thereafter at the huge volume of fire coming the way from the defenders.
It looked like Valor Prestige kind of dragged their feet a little bit, trying to get back into that and just not able time after No Sympathy had pushed up all the way past the corner. So great job in being the awareness there of No Sympathy to create that space.
Fire strikes coming out from both sides. Window coming out now as well. Aqua Turtle looking for the fire strike, throws one in, I say almost petulantly there, as if he's just trying to see if he can catch anyone peeking. They won't, and here comes the rest of the team now. Beatdown Bongo's coming out early. Oh! It's huge! It's huge! Somebody clip it! My Lord, Cinder just shuts the whole thing down.
He let everybody know what time it was. Oh my, Cinder, with the 4K on the Deadeye.
It's high noon somewhere.
It just apparently in Rialto.
High noon in Rialto. The gunslinger coming in huge right there.
Yeah, we hadn't seen really a big Deadeye, and we've seen a lot of McCree tonight. So nice to finally someone capitalize on a big one.
Whoop! Now there's the high noon coming out the other side. Juke gets 2. Both the gunslingers coming in big, and they'll start to push forward. Now caught on the outside edge is Trojan on that Torby, blown away, and now the cart will come around the final corner. It's going to be a hard reset here for the folks over at Valor. Cinder switching over to the Doomfist to contest in this final area, and they will need to contest. There they are, coming out of the deck. Aqua Turtle pushing up, Cinder getting in on the back line almost immediately on the Doomfist. First
looking
pick
for a
here is
pick.
going to be huge, and there goes Jupe down early to Dog Thanatos. Not a lot of time left on the clock here for Crackers, though. They'll start to back up. They want to just get the reset instead of pushing forward.
Yeah, this is getting into final fight territory, so you do want to make sure you are fully set and everybody's ready to go. We see Jupe swap over to that Reaper now to see if he can't get some big damage in a hurry.
Oh, here they come up the middle. Yega coming in. Spark Chief there as well.
Oh!
Yega throws the shatter, gets no one. Sound barrier coming in. That coalescence still going. Counter shatter gets no one as well, though. Yega now fighting in the middle of everything, but Yega will go down the absolute last fight. And it is not looking good for Crackers. Droop trying to turn things around. Droop, Ripple, both down. Trojan throwing in the molten core. And that will signal the end. No ball, no recontest. And it is over.
What a show by Valor Prestige there. Great teamwork all together. We saw a missed shatter there, and I think that was the difference in that final team fight with the halting the No Sympathy came in, tried to shatter, but the Orisa halted the team above it, so they got no value out of it, unfortunately. A little miscommunication might have cost them this map.
Well, what a look at that. Look at that, man. He gets the tactical crouch in there as well. He knows he's done his job. Death means nothing to the victorious. Amazing stuff.
Oh my.
Absolutely amazing, Skate. What a match, Skate. What a match between these two tier 5 teams. Spectacular stuff.
That was fun. I hope everybody had as much fun watching this as because that was a blast to be a part of. What a great way to start this off. And the best part about it is we're not done. There's more Overwatch action.
There is more Overwatch to come. That might signal the end of that matchup here, but the next one's going to be coming to you hot and fresh in just a little bit here, and that'll be Descendants Danny DeFito, a tier matchup with Bullskunk and Chef Billy in the casting booth. Plenty of exciting stuff there.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be back with the full panel to discuss that game and the game to come here on the Console Gaming League. They're playing up, pushing forward. Spark Chief trying to get in.
Oh my
Decent
God,
shatter
the
there in the back line. And a good anti, though, but they can't turn it around. And everybody's too knocked down to really count.